and welcome to Gentle Yoga. Thank you so much for getting out of bed and joining us and taking good care of yourself this morning. Good morning, Beth. Thank you for coming. We're going to dive right in to some breathing. Always the best way that I know for changing my energy is through the breath. Changing my energy through the breath. So I'll find my upright seated posture, perhaps sitting on the edge of my block. Getting any little wiggles or squiggles out of the body. Sometimes it's nice to have a point of focus beyond the breath that anchors you. And for me, that's my mudra, my hand mudra. So today, if you want to create the Gyana Mudra with me, you can just curl the index finger under, press the thumb on top, and rest that in your lap. Just rest that whole mudra right on your lap. If you felt like you wanted, a little more energy, you might flip the hands up, right? For me, I like the grounding of Gyana Mudra resting in my lap. Any other wiggles or squiggles, or knowing that you can shift the body at any time, right? If you're feeling uncomfortable like this, right? So for me, sometimes the cross-legged posture isn't so good, but folding the knees underneath and sitting up on the edge of even 2 blocks. I think, Nell, that's what you got going on, 2 blocks. Yeah, or 1 block, right? So Jerry Ann, this might be a better spot for you, but you do whatever you need to do. You're taking care of yourself this morning. Okay, let's see if we can bring our focus to the breath. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Following the breath as you inhale and exhale, pouring all of your intention into this next breath. Just coming into this moment as fully as you can, bringing the breath right to the foreground. Maybe softening the gaze down or closing the eyes altogether if you haven't already. Really taking a moment to enjoy a bit of stillness, a bit of silence. 3 more breaths. And then perhaps you'll begin to move the head and the neck in any way that would feel good. For me, that is usually like a little bit of circular movement in one direction, in the other direction. And then I might just release my Gyana Mudra and lift my arms out to the sides. Take up all the space I need. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to heart center. Press the palms together. Maybe we take an Om here, breathing in for Om. Interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms away from the body. Big stretch, lift the arms up, inhale. Exhale, stretch to one side, stretch to the other side. Right, still anchoring down through the sit bones, through the lower body. Good, you can release the hands down, bring the hands behind the back. See if you can interlace the fingers behind the back, straightening the arms, lifting the chest. Seeing if you can lift the arms up away from the back body. Breath in, breath out. Good, and releasing the arms, letting them dangle. I might just go ahead and bring my right arm straight out in front, scoop underneath, draw the arm across the body, and play with dropping one ear towards one shoulder, the other ear towards the other shoulder, and just finding where I feel more sensation in the body, breathing into that. So we'll release, switch sides, left arm out, scoop underneath, draw the arm across the body, keep the shoulder nice and low, and then explore. Explore a little head tilt in one direction, in the other direction. Maybe you stay with what feels like a little more challenge. Good, and then releasing. Shaking the hands out, loosening up the wrists, and then let's crawl forward. Crawling onto your hands and knees. You can set the blocks up to the sides. In fact, let's hold the blocks in the hands to start. I'm gonna hold my blocks right underneath my shoulders. Slide my right knee forward, my left knee back. Right, sit up nice and tall in my stretchy, lungey thingy. It's a technical term. I might take a peek back and see if my back leg is kind of really out to the side, bring it more towards the midline of the body. And I'm going to take a peek over that right shoulder. Big breath in, breath out. That's good. And come back to center. Drag that left knee forward. Bring the right knee back. Sitting up nice and tall. Right, maybe you can take a peek over the left shoulder. Feel that stretch in the right hip. Good, come on back to center. Take the blocks to the sides. Plant your hands down. Really absorb the mat with the hands. I'm pushing the earth away. I could kind of sink down into my shoulder blades, retracting the shoulder blades. And then I could push the earth away, protracting the shoulder blades. They come around the sides of my body practically. So just sinking into my shoulders and then pushing the earth away, lots and lots of space. Free up your shoulder blades. Right? It can be a pretty subtle movement, especially if we have tight shoulders. Right, so we've done the shoulders. Now I want you to think about your pelvic bowl, thinking of the pelvis as a bowl that could tip forward and tip back, right? And maybe you can isolate the movement to just the pelvis. Maybe you start to involve other parts of the spine in our cat-cow. Maybe you start with the pelvis and then kind of expand the motion out. Seeing if you can involve the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. So to me, this could just be, I could just be doing this as an exercise, right? And some of us just do yoga as an exercise. Someone made a comment, not sure about the whole mind-body stuff. When you put the breath into the mix, for me, this is where it turns into something that creates a feeling of wholeness, that allows me to focus more inwardly. Right? So see if that can be a focus of yours, if it feels comfortable for you to bring the breath into the mix. All right, coming to neutral. Tuck the toes under. Sit back on the toes for a moment, plugging the fingertips into the earth. Right, nice toe stretch here if this feels like too much. Amy, you'll come right out of it. I'm going to take 3 lion's breaths. Open the mouth, stick the tongue out, make a little roaring sound. Stretch the face. Stretch the neck. Release that tension. Good, we'll crawl back forward and create our balancing tiger shape nice and slow. I'll stretch my right leg out, toe on the ground, rock forward, rock back. Feeling that good stability through my hands and that spaciousness in my shoulders, right? I'm not sinking down. I'm going to lift my right leg straight out from my hip with the toe kind of pointing down or even towards the midline of the body. And then from here, I'm going to lift my left arm straight out. Right? And I might feel a little wobbly today, and that's okay. Just work with that. And then switching sides nice and slow. We'll build this slowly. Left leg back, rock forward and rock back on the toe. Lift that left heel up, toe pointing down or inward, and then lift the right arm. Stretch everything long. That's good. Release back to center. And now we'll swing between the sides. Opposite arm, opposite leg. That toe points down. And maybe the leg does not go higher than the hip. I would prefer that in terms of keeping the spine long. This is a great spinal stretch as you extend, come back to stability, moving back and forth between the sides. You could even add a crunching element, bringing knee to elbow and re-extending. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in again. We'll take one more on each side, one complete set. And then coming back to neutral once you've completed your set. Bring some space between the knees. Allow the toes to touch. Try to sink back gently towards the heels. Right? You could stay lifted if this feels like a lot, or you might begin to bring your forehead down onto the earth in child's pose. Child's pose, maybe the forehead comes onto a block or even 2 blocks. Reaching the arms forward with some energy this morning, lifting the elbows up, maybe walking the hands forward. That's good. Letting that forehead rest, Ted. Seeing if you can bring the forehead down to the floor or to a block. Breathing into this whole backside of the body. This beautiful surface area of the lungs, unencumbered by a vital organ of the heart. Right? All of that surface area just rich with oxygen. All right, guys, come on up. I'm going to come onto my forearms for a moment, and I'm going to interlace my fingers so I have a little fist, and then I'll begin to walk my knees back, tuck my toes under, and lift my knees for a forearm plank. Here, my forearm plank. My elbows are right underneath my shoulders. I'm kind of pushing my arms towards each other, right? Really engaging. And that space in the shoulders is there. Pulling the belly up and in, finding my breath, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then lowering my torso down. Coming up into my Sphynx pose. I'll press my palms into the earth, almost isometrically, like dragging my heart forward and tucking my chin. So I've got, some length in the back of my neck. What do you say, guys? Another forearm plank? Sounds good to me, right? This'll cheer us up, Judy. I promise. Forearm planks for everybody. I'm going to tuck my toes under, lift my hips. You could stay here if you wanted a little more. You could walk one leg out to the side and bring it back. Walk the other leg out to the side and bring it back. Keep your breath moving. Maybe exhale through the mouth. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the torso down. Let's come all the way down, forehead on the earth, arms at the sides with the palms facing each other. Take a breath. And then we're going to be lifting everything, lifting the head, the heart, the hands, and the heels. Seeing if you can bring the work kind of into the upper back as you bring the shoulder blades together. Shalabhasana, locust pose. That's good, Ted. One more big breath in. And then release cheek to mat. Let yourself rest. for a moment. Right, these postures where we're back bending and we're using the back muscles to achieve that shape, that extension, are so good for undoing the effects of a lot of sitting. So I'm talking to you, Cindy, we're talking about sitting a lot. Yeah, so the locust pose is a good one. The bridge pose is a good one. Let's come up into another locust pose. This time I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides and I'm going to have some space between my legs and I'm just going to kind of messily lift everything up, kind of have fun with how much space my body can take up. Big breath in, breath out, holding, breath in, and breath out, other cheek to the mat. One more little rest here, allowing the spine to settle. And then when you're ready, slowly peeling yourself up. Slowly peeling yourself up to your tabletop posture. You might wiggle the hips a few times. Tucking the toes under will meet in downward facing dog. Maybe with the knees bent to start, just pedaling one heel down towards the earth, the other heel down. Finding that good space in the shoulders, between the shoulder blades. Don't forget to breathe. Nice, guys. Hold it. One more breath. And then we're coming up onto your tiptoes. Bend the knees. Look forward. Take a lot of little steps to the top of the mat. Maybe the hands walk back. I'm going to come up halfway, elbows resting on my thighs. Right? So for those of us with the low back stuff, this might be where we stay instead of doing a forward fold. You can get a lot of nice extension. If you feel like you want to come down a little farther, you might drape yourself over the thighs. You might grab opposite elbows, ragdoll, forward fold. Right? Maybe you sway a little bit from side to side, or you can really let go of the head here. Maybe you're working towards straightening the legs. Find that breath. Right? There is no right way to do any yoga pose. It's only what your body offers you in that moment. We all have differing personal anatomies. Come on up nice and slow. All the way up to a standing posture. You could shift your camera setting or grab a sip of water. I'm going to grab my blocks as well. So we'll bring the blocks between the feet and the thighs. A little block action today. So you can find whatever setting feels right for you with the blocks. That's good. So just for a moment, can you close your eyes and can you spread the toes out? Feel all four corners of the feet. Imagining in your mind's eye an image of a mountain. That strong, stable mountain base rooting down deeply into the earth. Drawing that strength all the way up to the crown of your head. Right, the crown of your head sort of poking through the clouds there. Holding that image of the mountain in your mind's eye. Beautiful, guys. Let's keep the strength going. So I'm going to slowly bend my knees and shift my hips back. Right? So bending my knees, shifting my hips back. Chair pose. Arms reaching out straight in front. So see if you can kind of purposefully stick your butt out a little bit. Yeah, that's good, Ted. Bring those hips way back. That's good. That's good. You're squeezing the blocks. And now we'll inhale and straighten everything. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, sink back into that chair pose. Hips way back, weight in the heels. That's good, and inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend to the left. Beautiful, Judy. Inhale, center. Exhale, sink way down low. You got it, Jerry Ann. Beautiful. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend to the right once again. Inhale, center. Exhale, sink, sink, sink. Weight is back. That's good, Ted. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, side bend left. Good. Release to center. And one last chair pose. This time, as we sink down, we're going to bring the arms up by the ears. So sinking down, weight in the heels, find the breath. Stay with the breath. When you're ready, slowly come out. Good. Keeping my blocks right where they are. I'm going to open my arms out to the sides. I'm going to windmill to the right, using all the muscles in my torso to twist. Right? Maybe my hips can kind of point to the front of my mat. And then I might eventually incorporate neck rotation and look over my right shoulder. Then I'm coming back to center, breathing in. Exhale, twist to the left. Torso muscles, and then the neck. Through center, inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. That's good, Judy. Nice. Exhale, left. She can really twist around like an owl all the way back to center. Let's take one more on each side. I feel the effort in my arms. It feels good. Moving at your own pace. Meeting me in the center and releasing the arms down. Nice. Yeah, shake the arms out. Good idea, Walt. And then I'll release the blocks. Releasing the blocks. I'm going to do some leg sweeps here. So I'm going to take the weight into my right foot. I'm just going to lift my left foot in front and to the back. Maybe the arms out to the sides. Front and back. Front and back. And then I'm going to switch sides. Weight in the left foot. Right leg out into the front to the back. Staying nice and stable. To the front and to the back. Good, guys. And now maybe my hands to stay out to the sides or onto my hips. I'm going to lift my left leg out to the left. My right leg out to the right. Moving back and forth. Seeing how stable I can stay in my core. Until we've done 3 on each side. Good. Try not to kick each other there, Goldens. Right? Reset to center. So now we'll kind of combine those things. I'm going to do my to the front, to the back, and to the side. And switch sides. Front, back, side. Front, back, side, and you might have to touch down at some point, and that's fine. Good. We might take one more on each side. So we've done a total of 3. Good. Inhale the arms out and up. Gaze rises. Exhale, slow fold forward, only as far down as feels safe, maybe a soft bend to the knees. Inhale, slide the hands up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Right, take the hands on the hips, right foot forward, left foot back at a little angle. Warrior 1. Hips to the top of the mat. Sink into that right knee tracking over the right ankle. Yeah, holding here. Hook the thumbs in front of the body. Inhale the arms up. Rooting down through the feet, rising up through the fingertips. The core is stable. Right, reminding yourself of your why. Why I practice yoga this morning. Finding that breath. One more breath. That's good now. Now I bring my hands to my hips. Start to transfer the weight into the right foot. Float the left leg up behind you. Bring it right back down. Right? You might stay kind of floating the leg up and down, just like we did. Or you might want to hold. Bring the arms out to the sides. And that toe, that back toe, is pointing down. Right? Maybe you grab onto a piece of furniture. Right? Maybe the arms come down at the sides, palms facing each other. That's good. Big breath in. Let's reset to mountain pose slowly. Beautiful. Walk it out. Get a little funky. Good. And then let's switch it up. Left foot forward, right foot back. Warrior one. Hips to the top of the mat, sinking into this left knee. Right? Kind of twisting the hips to the right a little, to the left a little bit. Hooking the opposite thumb on top. Inhale the arms up. Rooting down through the feet. Rising up through the fingertips. That's good, Matthew. Very strong. Bring some weight into the back foot. Good. Inhale, lift. Hands to the hips. This side could feel different. Honoring that as we come onto the left foot, pick up that right leg, float it up, and right back down. See how that feels. This side could feel different, as I mentioned. And then maybe you hold a piece of furniture, right? Or maybe you want to keep that right leg lifted. Maybe the arms fly out to the sides. Nice, guys. Maybe the arms come down at the sides and I can take a peek down, kind of like, the spine extension, the lengthening in our balancing tiger pose. Good. Slowly reset back to mountain and walk it out. Maybe our hip rotation dance could feel good. Picking one leg up, opposite arm moving the opposite direction. All right, let's take a walk. Nice, Judy, to the back of the mat. Take a walk to the back of the mat, the feet together. Walking to the back of the mat, feet together. Arms out to the sides like a tightrope walker. I'm going to step my right foot in front of my left, heel to toe. I might close my eyes or slow blink as I continue to walk my balance beam to the front of my mat. And noticing what I do with my gaze. Am I looking down? Maybe I can really play with closing my eyes today and taking this journey without using the sense of vision. Right, once you get to the top, take a walk to the back. Really nice, guys. Continuing to breathe. Good, and then just meet me at the top of the mat. Yeah, take a sip of water. Balance beam is hard. Good, and then I'll bring my weight now into this right foot again. Just gonna pick up my left leg. See if I can hug it in. Hug it in. This could be where you stay. Maybe you wanna open that left leg out to the left a little bit. Right arm reaching to the right. Maybe you might roll the ankle. Right, hold on to that windowsill if need be. Good, Amy. It's good. Beautiful. Come back to center with the knee, release down, switch sides. Hug that right knee in. Open to the side. See how this side feels? It could feel a little wobbly. Right, maybe keep the knee straight forward. Nice, guys. And release. Walk it out. And let's do a couple poses and we'll come back to a tree. I want to give the balance a break for a moment. So I'm going to come into a warrior two. Nice wide foot stance. Right toes to the top of the mat, angling the left foot, sinking into this right knee. You might straighten and bend this front knee a few times. Try to make sure the knee is, basically sticking right over the ankle. And I get to this point and I usually my torso is kind of reaching forward. So I want to kind of bring my torso back up and open my arms equally in both directions. Bending into that right knee. Good. Peeking over the right shoulder and over the right hand. Your hips are pointing to the side of the mat. Yeah, finding the breath. Now the hero in our story of this pose has his enemy in his sights. And that enemy is the ego. The ego always getting in the way of real understanding of reality. Sometimes. Let's flip that right hand. Reverse away from the warrior pose into reverse warrior, sometimes called peaceful warrior. I might straighten my right leg. And then I'm coming back to warrior two. And I'm going to stretch my right arm forward. Drape it across my front thigh, moving to extended side angle. I start with my left hand on my hip, just to kind of make sure I can keep my left shoulder back. Zip up that core. Right? Maybe that left arm reaches up and over, palm facing down. And I'm not putting much weight in this right shoulder, this right arm. That's good. It's a challenging pose. See if you can find the breath and smooth it out. Finding that balance between ease and effort. Nice. Make our way up. Take the hands to the hips. All 10 toes to the side of the mat. Circle the hips a few times. Find your breath. Good. And then we'll take those poses on the other side. Left toes to the left. Back heel angling, bending into the left knee. Maybe it's a wider stance than you did on the other side. Opening the arms out equally in both directions. Okay, take a peek over that left hand. That's good. Pulling the belly up and in. Finding your breath. Making sure that that left knee is bending directly over the left ankle. Make any modifications there. Good. We'll flip the left hand. Inhale. Trace the ceiling, maybe straightening that left leg. And we'll cartwheel our way back to warrior two. Reach forward with that left arm. Drape it across the front thigh. Maybe that right hand just on the right hip for a moment as we figure out this is a twist. Right? It's a twist to the right. Maybe that right arm does eventually travel up and over. You feel stable. That's good, Beth. Right, taking some of the weight out of that left arm. Breathing in, we'll rise up. Hands to the hips. All 10 toes to the side of the mat. Maybe you shorten your stance a little bit. Take a breath in. Exhale, slow fold forward, hands sliding down the legs. And I might come to a certain part where my legs start to stretch. And instead of going farther, I'm going to stay here. I'm just going to stay here and use my abdominal muscles to keep me lifted. Breathing into the sensation. You might get a little bit lower, but it's good to not go as far as you can all the time, not go to the same thing you always do in this pose. We do this pose quite a bit, right? So some might feel like, well, I can get my head down on the ground. But what if you tried something different? Slowly coming back up. Okay. Walk the feet back. We'll take mountain pose. A little spinal rinse here. You could skip this if your low back's hurting. Inhale the arms out and up. Gaze rises. Exhale, slow fold forward all the way down, maybe a soft bend to the knees. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins, come up halfway with a nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward, only as far down as feels safe. And then we're coming back up. Inhale the arms out to the sides, overhead. Take that little slice of heaven and bring it right back down to the earth. Pressing your palms together at the heart. Big breath in, breath out. Good. And let's shake it out. All right, tree pose. If you need some support today, finding a wall, finding something to hold on to, you should be all nice and warmed up for this in the hips. So let's take tree pose with the weight in the right foot. That's good, Ted. Finding your chair. Awesome. Lift that left heel up and open the knee to the side. You could keep the toe on the ground the whole time. Or maybe you begin to bring that foot up a little higher. Coming up onto the calf or even higher. Today, I might bring my hands to heart center. I'm pushing the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Now, nieces, you're joining us. If you want, I can stick around a little bit and give you something after class. Good. Big breath in. That's good, Carol. Slowly come out of your tree pose and release. And walk it out. Kick out that right leg. We're taking a tree now with the weight in the left foot. Pick up that right heel. Open the knee to the side. Find your point of contact. Take it nice and slow. Basically anywhere but the knee for that foot to rest. Anywhere but the knee. Nice and low is absolutely fine on the calf. In fact, it's more challenging in many ways. Can you feel the press of your palms at heart center? That's good, Lara. You didn't do any warm up, and that was a good way to stick the tree right from the start. Releasing and walking it out and kicking that left leg out. All right, nice job, guys. So let's go ahead and stagger the feet. I'm going to drop the back knee down. And I'm going to come to find 2 blocks, squeeze 2 blocks between my feet. Right? If you have tender knees, you can pad up under the knees as we come into our Camel Twist, or modified Camel Twist, which is basically just a back bending, heart opening experience now that we're warmed up. So I'm going to start by resting my left hand on my heart and then taking a twist to the right, taking a peek down, seeing if I can lean back and place my right hand on the block. Taking a peek down to start really squeezing the block with my feet, engaging the butt, engaging the abs. Then I might look up and I might lift that left arm up if that felt okay. Really take up that space. Good. Slowly reset back to center. You might kind of bring some circular motion into the hips. If the knees still feel okay, you can always skip this if this is too much on your knees. I'm going to rest my right hand on my heart. twist to the left. Take a peek down. Stretch my left hand back. Breathe into the heart. Breathe into the hand. And then maybe that right arm reaches. Everything in the front line of the body engaged. And reset back to center. And you could do one where you just place both hands on the low back, like you're putting your hands into your back pockets. Press the hips forward, lift the heart, squeeze the elbows together. Lean back. Feel the legs working to hold you up. And then we'll release slowly back to hands and knees. Wiggle the hips a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and take the blocks to the side. I'm going to come down onto my right hip and then bending my elbow. I'm going to bring my elbow right underneath my right shoulder. I'm going to stretch my right leg long and bend my top leg underneath me. And then I'm going to push the earth away and come to a side forearm plank here that's modified. Okay, it's modified because I have this left foot on the earth behind me and the knee bent. Maybe that left arm reaches towards the ceiling. Right, so big breath in, see if you can lift the hips. And then I'm releasing down, I'm taking a breath. I could do one more like that, or I might try this with my heels stacked and lift the hips up and lift that top arm up. It's a lot of pressure in the shoulders, so if you're worried about that, do the modification number 1. The arm could reach over the head, and then we're coming back down nice and slow. And let's just roll to the other side. Right, so left elbow underneath the left shoulder, left leg is extended, the right foot is behind you or in front, whatever feels more stable. And I'm not sinking into the shoulder, I'm pushing the earth away. And then I'm going to lift my hips, lifting my hips, lifting that right arm up. See how that feels for you to lift the hips. Breath in and then release down. You could do the same thing. You could skip it altogether, or you could stack the heels. Stacking the heels, seeing if you can lift the hips up off the earth. Open that right arm out to the right. Find your breath. That's good now. Awesome. Beautiful, Matthew. Come on down nice and slow. And we'll swing the legs out in front. Swing the legs out in front. I'm just going to sit loosely here for a moment. All right. Nice job, guys. Breath in. Breath out. I'm going to scoop underneath. One more shoulder stretch. Right. Maybe I do the right arm first. Moving the head in one direction and the other direction. And then switching sides. Left arm. Draw the left arm across the body. Stretching to one side and the next. Good. See if we can bring the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe you hold on to the feet like leaves of a book. To give yourself a foot massage. Right? Or maybe just, we have the capability of healing touch to ourselves. There is a mudra that my Ayurvedic teachers were teaching me that is the most healing, apparently, if you bring your hands together, your thumbs and your fingers together, and then touch the point in the body that is most painful to you or needs healing the most. Maybe it's your low back, right? Maybe it's your feet. So bringing that mudra right to that point, feeling that healing touch that you can transfer to your own body. And this is sort of in the line of Reiki, And I'm not 100% sure what I feel about all that and what I really think about that. But it is kind of cool, right? All right, guys, let's stretch the legs out. I'm going to hug just the right knee in. Cross that foot over the body. The left foot is engaged. Right, that foot is flexed. It's going to take a twist to the right, placing that right arm behind me, hugging that right knee in. Notice what's happening to your chin. Yeah, that's good, Walt. Taking a peek over that right shoulder, sitting up super tall. And when we come back, right, when we come back from wringing out the organs, all that beautiful blood flows back into the vital organs. Switching sides. That's good, Cindy, needing a little more today. Bending that left knee, cross it over the body. That left foot fully planted down, the right leg engaged. Sit up tall. Exhale, twisting to the left. Left hand coming down behind you. Right, only twisting as far as feels safe for you. Right, maybe I can hug that left knee with my right arm. Good, and then taking a peek over that left shoulder. See how that would feel. Good, unwinding back to center. All of that beautiful blood flowing back to the vital organs. Okay, let's go ahead and come to lie on the back. Coming down to lie on the back. Or, if you need something else, you could work on boat pose. So I'm going to lie on my back. And I'm just going to take some gentle pelvic tilts here. So I've got my knees bent, my hands resting on my hip points. And so, Cindy, this is one of my every day for my low back moments. As I push the belly button down into the earth, I erase the lumbar curve. And then I'm going to pull the belly button up and accentuate the lumbar curve. So it's just a very subtle rocking forward and back of my pelvic bowl. Pelvic bowl tilting forward, pelvic bowl tilting back. Kind of ironing out my low back a little bit here. Maybe you can find your breath. Good. And now I'm going to walk my feet a little closer to my body, moving into my bridge pose. Robot arms. That's the upper arms pushing into the earth, lift the heart, push into the heels, the feet, and lift the hips. Don't turn the head from side to side, so just gazing down the end of the nose here. Really push. You could push through using the glutes, the lower back, and then the upper back. Right? If you have another way you like to do this pose, like with the interlacing of the fingers under the body, you could do that. You could wriggle the shoulders and get a little higher. Push into all four corners of the feet. Find your breath. And then when you're ready to come out of it, before you come down, stretch your arms overhead, reaching the arms behind you and seeing if as you come down, you can settle one vertebra down at a time. And you could do this, Larry, you could do this in a forward fold and then rounding up. You could forward fold and then round up one vertebra at a time. Let's try another bridge. I'm going to keep my arms overhead, lifting my hips and setting myself down nice and slow. So it's more like a massage for the spine. Seeing if I can really individuate each vertebra. And there are parts of my spine where I'm like, ooh, that hurts. And there's parts of my spine where I'm like, I don't really feel that. So I might want to explore both of those areas with a little bit more deepening of my awareness and of my breath. Good. We'll bring the feet out to the very edges of your mat. The arms can stretch to the sides. I'm going to drop both of my knees to one side, windshield wiping the knees back and forth. You could do this really slowly, carefully. You could do this quickly. So I've got my feet down. My feet are planted on the edges of my mat. And as I windshield wiper my knees back and forth, I'm getting a really good stretch in my hip flexors. Right? This is the area where when we're sitting all day, you know, that's sort of contracted. So this is another good one I would add to the little mini break you need from sitting. And when you are ready, you can stop your windshield wipers. Hug the knees into the chest. Hug the knees into the chest. See if you can feel the imprint of your hips, of your pelvis, your sacrum. I'm going to keep my right knee hugged in and press the left leg long. So, you know, Larry, if you wanted to, you could do some strap stretches in the chair after you're done your spinal movement. Hugging that right knee towards my right shoulder, I'll grab onto the back of my right thigh and push the foot up. That's good, while pushing the foot up and kind of hugging the leg back towards the body as well as pushing the leg into the hands. Seeing if you can straighten that right leg. Yeah, it's a little different with straightening it. I might just rotate my ankle. I might bring my hands up a little higher, right? I might use my strap if I really like using a strap. That's good, Beth. Really improving flexibility in the hamstrings through our practice. I can see it. I might cross the midline of my body just like 1 degree. So bringing my right leg to the left just a tiny bit. You feel that awesome stretch in the IT band. Sorry, I said awesome, but it is in the old definition of the word. Back through center. And we're going to switch sides. So go ahead and hug that left knee in, or grab your strap, hook the foot into the strap. Right leg is long. I'm going to grab onto the back of my left thigh. Push the foot up towards the ceiling with feeling, right? Pushing the leg into the hand back into the leg. Like, what's your why for coming to the mat? Reminding yourself of that now. Maybe the hands come up a little higher on the leg. And maybe you've stopped breathing. Like if you're in something kind of intense, the temptation is to stop breathing, hold your breath, and like really push through it. But maybe you can just breathe into it. As we cross the midline of the body 1 degree, just 1 degree, coming over to the right with that leg. Good, releasing to center, hugging both knees back into the chest. We'll hug both knees back into the chest and then bring some space between the knees. So you're hugging the legs apart. I'm grabbing onto my shins, right? And grabbing onto my shins and rocking from side to side. Kind of like a really happy baby light. And now we'll plant the feet down with the knees bent. Maybe another pelvic tilt would feel good. And then I'm going to cross my right ankle over the left knee. Yeah, another bridge, always a good idea. Crossing that right ankle over the left knee, I'm going to reach up through the window of the legs, grab on to part of my left leg and hug it in. That's good, Ted. Really good. Letting the head rest back on the earth. I'm keeping that right foot flexed rather than pointed. I'm trying to keep my low back pushing down. That's good. All the kinks are going to dissolve after this. I promise you, I already feel it, right? And we'll press this left foot down onto the earth and cross the knee all the way over, same side. So right knee over the left. And I'm just going to luxuriate my knees to the left while I drape my right arm out to the right. And if you get there and it's like a little too intense, you could bring a block under the knees over on the left side. Seeing if you can keep your right shoulder down onto the mat. So it's just a gentle spinal twist. Yeah, with the knees going in one direction and the upper body going in the other. We'll come back to center. Cross the left knee over the left ankle over the right knee. Hug it in. Get that good hip stretch as you flex the left foot. You control how much sensation you want to experience. Breathe. Press that low back down into the earth. Let the head rest. If you need neck support, you could always use neck support. And Larry, you can do this figure 4 seated, right? Yeah. That's good. Bring the right foot down. Cross the knee over. Guide the knees to the right. While the left arm reaches to the left. See if you can explore all the newly revealed space that this pose offers you with the breath. Good. Slowly making your way back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Make any other movements the body's asking for. Come to a final pose that feels like a good place for you to hold for a moment or two. Right, your final resting pose, it could be Shavasana, it could be a meditation posture, seated meditation posture. It could be knees bent with the knees together and the feet apart. Right, just taking a moment longer here to allow all the postures we just did to integrate into the body. Resting the body, letting go. Letting go of the to-do list. And maybe today we do our final Om in this posture, right? So you can really feel the reverberation in the body. Big breath in for Om. Carrying that beautiful vibration into the rest of your day. When you're ready, good stretch. You could stay here as long as you like. We didn't have a very long Shavasana today. Sorry about that. But if you need a little more time, you could stay there. You could come up to sit. Bring hands together at heart center if it's in your practice. Right, just taking a moment to feel this community that you're in, the space that we hold for each other, to practice, right? To chat if we need to stay and chat after class. You are not alone. We're all doing this together. We're all on this journey together. And I really appreciate your time. And I really appreciate you making this time for yourself and for our yoga community. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Feel free to stick around and chat, or if you